There's a good reason why I've been buying up all the X-Shot micros in town. The series of reshells by Domachevsky that turn the X-Shot micro from this into V1, V2, not really version 2, number 2, Piratey, and the newest one, which takes this one even further. That's right, this one is a double barrel shotgun, and it can fire 2 darts at once or 1 at a time. It has a really neat and smooth trigger mechanism down here. It is pretty stiff to prime both of those at once. You might want to prime them 1 at a time, but you can unleash both of these at once, or just with a subtle difference of squeezing the trigger, fire 1 at a time. I am quite in love with this blaster. I'm in love with the whole series. You do have to sacrifice 2 X-Shot micros for this one, but well worth it. You can get the files from GenCoMegaWerks. That is Domachevsky's Etsy store. I'll have a link in the description. I'm actually selling pre-builts and kits for people who maybe don't 3D print. So that's another reason I've actually done a video on each of these and showed myself building them. This one actually is a little bit more work than the other ones. The complexity is a little bit more, but it's still not too bad. Even if you don't get one from me, if you get the files, you can learn a little bit maybe from my mistakes when you put yours together. I actually have the granddaddy of all of these micro reshells coming to me. It's lost in shipping. It's on a container somewhere. It's the Conductor's Revolver. You can see that Dr. Flux has one. Telenax Armory built one. Go check out their channels. I'll put links down below and you can see. And that's actually a semi-auto pistol that uses 6 or 8 of these same plunger tubes, but that's a whole other project. These are just so fun. If micros are hard to find in your area, I'm also bundling them with micros if people want. I absolutely cannot wait for number 4. Am I gonna run an all micro loadout someday? Maybe. Stick around, check out that build guide, check out my Etsy store, check out Domachevsky's Etsy store, and get in on this micro fun. I'm really excited about this one, so let's get to work. We've taken out the 6 screws. We're going to pry this little piece off here. We don't care if it gets wrecked. Open this up. Careful for the springs. We do not use this in the project, but I use these for the gauntlet. The tiny little spring for the catch we do use. Now we need the other one. Now, let's see if we can figure out how to piece this all together. I assume I'm lining these up. It's almost like 2 of these side by side, like so. That's the rough idea. And our plunger tubes go in there. So I guess we'll do 1 at a time. This might actually be a little bit tricky to coordinate here. All right, I'm glad I checked because they actually go like this. So the 2 triggers are kind of side by side. I also, before I do that, I need to put in a catch spring in here. That spring is gone forever. Luckily, I scavenge springs out of everything and it is very similar to other springs. So this is interesting. And the other ones, oh, I see. Dang it. It's easier, or you're supposed to put this in this side first, which seems really obvious now. We put our hook in there, lining it up with the slope side of that. And now we are going to do the same thing. Make sure that's retained in there. Push this in. We should generally have less trouble. There we go. Everything fits in. And this is how it should be. I wish I'd realized that. Now if I push this in, the spring is kind of contained in there. So I'm just going to sneak this out a little bit without everything popping into place. So I can tuck in this spring and hopefully slide everything back where it was. We succeeded? Yep. Okay, that's all in there. We're going to take this piece and we can pinch it here, put this on, and now that is self-contained. I am going to guess that we can put a screw in there so that we don't have to deal with this flying apart. So this isn't too bad. I sacrificed 1 spring so that you know better and don't lose any. Why not put them all in here? There's nothing on the other side, so there's really no reason we can't put these screws in. There's a support here to dig out. There we go. I should say, if you want to take out the air restrictors, it's better to do it now. You can just pull this in from the back. I'm just going to pull out the posts from the front, and I'm going to actually leave the air restrictor and just pull out the post. So that's why I have not done that. Cool. Let's do the other one. Would you believe that I am so smart that I put it in the wrong side again? So I had to do that twice. When you're putting it in, if you do a test fit, the top of the return spring, the little hole, should be covered. So let's sneak this other return spring in here. I'm hoping it doesn't fly away because I don't want to go searching for another one. So yeah, that doesn't go anywhere as long as you hold everything in place. So let's cover this up fast. Whew, let's get some screws in here. This is the worst part. This is the only really tedious part. Now we have 2 of these, and we're going to fit them together so that they are a shotgun-y type thing. Let's put in trigger number 1. I assume this goes in somewhere like so. This fits in here. Whoops. This fits in here like that, lining everything up for the pegs. And then we'll put our plates on after. So we have these longer ones. This one goes way down through a whole long way, through multiple shell pieces. This one goes through, well, through a few pieces as well, but has a little bit less far to go. This part could be tricky. These are incredibly tight. One could argue maybe too tight. You're never getting these apart again. Excuse me while I use the edge of the table. That's through. Oh, I don't want to mark up the edge of it. These plates go on like this. Oh, I see now one of these is gray. I would rather this one was yellow. Oh, I wonder, I should have done these first. That would have been so much smarter. What a great guide. You couldn't see me, I was doing that just off screen. You know what, I'll move the camera, hold on. All I'm doing is holding it off just so that I'm hammering this, it's offset because it's narrower in the middle. This one's gonna be a tricky one because there's not a really good way to sit it on anything. Shoot, if I was doing this one over again, I don't know what I would have done. Probably driven it all the way through one piece maybe first. We'll just go kind of gentle. I have like the worst rusty hammer for doing stuff. Typically hammering PLA is not the smartest thing. I think I'm just going to use this gray pin. I already have it printed, and it's going to also require hammering. We're in good shape. Yeah, it works, and it's a really cool mechanism. I wish we didn't have to do so much hammering, but you know what? I'm not going to criticize. Well, I mean, I guess part of the thing is to criticize a little bit. I wish we didn't have to hammer these in quite so hard. It's definitely solid once it's done. I don't want to crack anything, especially at this point. And especially if you're ordering one to do as a kit. I'm sure you're a bit nervous about that too. I guess slow and steady. What would be better? It would be to use like a rubber mallet or something, but I don't have one. I think we pretty much got it. We're just doing this. There's a little bit of a gap in the shell. I'm embarrassed of what I did to get this together. We're gonna get a good rubber mallet or something, or maybe not a rubber mallet. I don't know. You guys tell me what would work better. There's lots of things I don't know. But we have this together now. I'm gonna take out these dart posts. So I'm just gonna grip them with my pliers and twist them until they come out. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna grip them with my pliers and pull in a straight motion, which was better advice because I twisted and that snapped the other one off in the middle. I wish I had slightly more needle nosy pliers. Do this before you assemble all this and go through all the grief I just did. I will get some longer needle nose pliers and I will get that out of there. I don't want to dig in too far with these. I don't want to warp this barrel. That's really cool though. When we prime these, kind of pull to one side for one, or you can pull them both as one comfy trigger. It's a pretty hefty prime to prime them both at once. You'll probably do them separately. Very cool.